Well, after my vibin' video, it looks like we have another Season 3 to cover. OG! Fortnite OG Season 3 just came I just realized that rhymes. Wait, hold on, that's awesome. Fortnite OG Season 3 has just came out recently, and so far, it's really fun. Like, really fun. I didn't think there'd be that big of a jump between Season 2 and Season 3, because theoretically it should only be a few loot pool changes, but it is fun. In fact, it's so fun that it's almost perfect. Almost. Now, what do I mean by almost? Well, there's issues. Yes, of course there's issues. But does that make it a bad experience? Let's take a deeper dive, because right now, it's time to go big or go home in Season 3. And as usual, code Chugga in the item shop, no spaces, hashtag epic partner. Alright, first thing right through the door that I want to get out of the way, graphics. I am not letting this fly under the radar because, oh my god, I don't know what they put into these graphics, but they look almost perfect. They look amazing. A majority of the time when I play Fortnite, I play on 120 FPS mode on PS5. And let me tell you, just playing on that alone, it looks almost identical to Chapter 1, at least in my opinion. They finally got a recreation of OG to have good daytime lighting. Everything else looks great. It almost looks like they took the lighting straight from Chapter 1. It is a massive improvement over before. And of course they were going to change it because this lighting is based on Season 3, the old lighting was based on Season 1 and 2, but man, it looks so good. Now, I know that there is one thing that doesn't look good, and if you know who I am, I'm gonna talk about it's the grass. The grass in OG was broken last season. They made it Chapter 5 grass for some reason. We're doing a lot of rhyming today. Now, the thing about Chapter 5 grass, because it does seem like a small issue to some people, and it's not a massive issue, but it's a very annoying one. There's a few differences. The grass itself is taller in a lot of places because the blades themselves are bigger. They reflect off of the light a little bit differently, and I think one of the main problems is how it takes its color. The way that the grass works on the OG map currently is the color is picked from whatever the grass is on top of. And because of that, we end up with things like this. Say hello to concrete colored grass. Why am I still mentioning the grass after an entire season? Because it's still not fixed, duh. The interesting thing to me is that they have numerous times pointed out that they know it is an issue. And in fact, if you look at the new lobby background, you can see that they use the right grass, meaning that there is a version of the Fortnite OG Season 3 map that has the correct grass, and we're not playing on it. Well, my personal theory that I like to think of is that this is just a little bit of a teaser, you know, this will be fixed in a future update. And all I'm gonna say is I hope it is, because while it's not completely the biggest issue in the world, it is mildly annoying. Anyways, let's not stay on the grass for too long, because we're Fortnite players. We don't need it. The loot pool. The loot pool is great. They only made a couple of changes to launch with the season, but they are some good changes. We're starting off with the hand cannon, the hunting rifle, and the guided missile. Now the hand cannon and the hunting rifle, they're great. The hand cannon doesn't one-shot wood yet, but that isn't a thing until Season 6, so we still have a little bit to go. The hunting rifle has the old sound effect, and that was awesome to hear again. Wait, they brought back the old hunting rifle sound? Ooh! Ooh! Oh, that's so much better. Now, the one thing that I have a problem with is the guided missile. It's the slow version. But as far as I know, it has the damage from the fast version, so it's this weird hybrid version. I do hope that eventually they make it a little faster, because I will admit it is kind of hard to control, especially now that people know how to build. Bye-bye. Aw, he built the only counter. But hey, the fact that we even have it in the first place is pretty cool. We haven't seen this thing since 2018. That is a long time. Now, there are some other weapon things to know. The Scars model was broken. Again, I don't know how that happened, but it now uses the Chapter 2 model when it's on the ground and in your hand, while still keeping the Chapter 1 icon. I feel like the icon would be more of a glaring issue than the model, but it is still kind of strange how that was broken. On the other hand, they did fix the icon for the tech, so now that is the Chapter 1 icon again, which is awesome. The hand cannon's model is the Chapter 2 one on the ground, which is also kind of weird, but it's the correct model when you have it in your hands, and it's almost the correct icon. Yeah, there's something wrong with that icon right there. I didn't even notice it, and I'm not going to point it out to you because I don't want to ruin it for you guys. Now we do have the heavy shotgun to look forward to in the future. And the reason that I bring this up now is because I think they made a mistake in the blog post. In the blog post, they described it as the Chapter 3 heavy shotgun with the single slug. And in the trailer, it definitely does show the Chapter 3 model. However, when it shoots multiple pellets. So it looks like it will be the Chapter 1 heavy shotgun, and they just made a little bit of a mistake in the blog post. In other news, I noticed some weapon stats were fixed. The two things that I noticed right off the bat was the grenade structure damage and the magazine size of the suppressed pistol. Grenades can actually break builds again, so that's cool. However, the tactical SMG, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this weapon should be buffed by now. In Chapter 1, somewhere around Season 3, they did an update to where the fire rate was faster, but that hasn't happened in OG yet. Maybe it happens later and I'm like blanking, but as far as I've known when I looked it up, it said it was supposed to be buffed in Season 2. But do let me know if that is a mistake. I noticed that some of the hidden challenges are back, so that's pretty cool. And so far, the updates are looking to be pretty great. We got some pretty good weapons that are supposed to be coming out in the future, and it's pretty exciting. Season 3, I feel like, was always carried by its loot pool. Well, from what I've seen, I never actually played Season 3. Not a bad thing. It's an early Fortnite season, we can give it an excuse. Anyways, I would like to take a bit of a break here, because I want to mention the OG pass. We gotta get it out the way. Listen, the skins are absolutely fantastic. I love them. Power Punk, I was sleeping on her at first. She's really cool. I like her a lot. She's like Sunny. Except I think Sunny did it better. But why are they shop skins? Why are they shop skins? It's not even like they're bad skins. They are genuinely very good remixes. I love these skins. They're awesome. But why did we choose them? And there were so many good picks that they could have had from the Season 3 Battle Pass. Dark Voyager, that's an easy one. You know, especially with the whole space theme. The Reaper deserves a remix. I know we have real John Wick, but like, the Reaper. Anyways, enough of that talk, there isn't much else to say about that. I do think it's a good OG pass, but hopefully they stick to Battle Pass skins next time, and the time after that. Hopefully they stick to Battle Pass skins from now on. Anyways, one thing that I actually predicted is 50v50. With the release of OG Season 3, they decided to go the extra mile and bring back 50v50. Now, this is a fan favorite LTM. Lots of people love 50v50. And I was curious to play it because I wanted to see if it was as good as I personally remembered it being. Because I remember having fun, but did it age well? Dude, absolutely it did. The mode started off with bots. Apparently that was a mistake, and they got removed a couple of hours later. Very good on Epic. And also I would like to point out, the way that the bots work right now is they only appear if there aren't enough players. Meaning, usually, it's going to be all real people. And in my opinion, I think that that's how Battle Royale should be all the time. Battle Royale, OG, Reload, all of it. Bots should only be used to fill up slots where there are empty players, if necessary. That's a topic for another video though. So 50v50 is like way more fun than I remembered it being. Like, way more fun. It's just nothing but pure chaos the entire time. Just these two giant teams fighting each other. It's so much fun. I'm actually going to be pretty sad when it leaves. And the fact that it's on the OG map too. Like, this is awesome. You guys know what this means, right? This opens up the gate to so many other OG LTMs to come back. Like, Disco Domination, Food Fight, Air Royale. We'll have to see what they do in the future. But hey, that's pretty cool. Floor's Lava in Season 8 would go crazy. There are two new things for 50v50 that I noticed. The first one being reboot vans. And now, I don't know how you guys feel about this. I actually kind of like this because of how it's handled. There are now reboot vans in 50v50, but you can only use them to reboot teammates that you specifically queued up with. So like, if you load into a 50v50 match with your friend and then they die, they don't have to spectate the entire time while you get to play. I think that's a pretty good way to handle it. The only issue I see is if one team has more people queued in with each other than the other team. For an example, one team is 25 duo queuers and the other team is 50 solo queuers. I don't know. It's a little hard to tell exactly what the odds of that are. In my opinion, I think it's executed pretty well, which is awesome. Now, the other thing I didn't like at first, but I am slowly starting to like a lot, which is structure damage. Something I noticed in 50v50 is that the structure damage is significantly decreased. So it's going to take longer to break walls and stuff. And it seems like the only efficient way to break stuff is either having multiple people shoot at it or using explosives. Now, I didn't like this at first and I thought it was a bug, but over time I'm slowly starting to think that it was intentional, and I'm very quickly starting to appreciate it, especially because people now are much better than people back then. Imagine like 10 people constantly shooting at you specifically. you would not have a chance. But now you do. Good move. Also, the Porta Fort's in there. Just want to throw that out there because that's the other loot pool change. They added the Porta Fort. Other than that, that's pretty much all we have so far. It's only been a couple of days of the new season, and this is my very first time playing Season 3. So what do I think about it? Dude, I love it. This is that time in Chapter 1 where Fortnite is starting to get into its Fortnite era, if that makes sense. Things are starting to get a little more goofy. We're getting a bunch more fun stuff, and the map is developing a little bit. It's awesome. Now, that doesn't mean that there's no issues. Like I said, some models are still incorrect. The grass is still broken after an entire season. Please fix that in the next update, I beg of you. And just some really weird stuff that you would expect to be fixed by now. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Hopefully it gets sorted out. But even ignoring all of that, it's so fun. I love OG Fortnite, and we're getting into that fun phase. I'm telling you though, once we hit Season 4 and we get that live event, and then once we hit Season 5 and they get the desert, smooth sailing. People are still going to call the mode dead anyways though, so it doesn't really matter. But it's fun. It's really fun. And I'm excited to get the rest of the loot pool changes in the future because they are also going to be really fun. Subscribe. I don't tell you guys to do that enough. I post Fortnite stuff. It's really fun. Anyways, time to go play OG, and hopefully the grass will not be as annoying because I keep seeing it everywhere I look. It's literally everywhere. Someone please help me.